Hey everyone, welcome to Wealth Redefined. I'm your host, Michael Reynolds, certified financial planner and owner of Elevation Financial. Thanks for joining me today. Welcome to 2025. Back on social media, back on the podcast, kicking off the new year. And every year, at least every year for the past 10 years or so that I've been doing this, I like to kick off the year with my 3 words for the coming year. So as we enter a new year, it's common for some of us to kind of reflect, to set goals for the coming year. This can take the form of New Year's resolutions, to-do lists, goal-setting activities, stuff like that. While goals can work well for some, it's not always effective for everyone. One thing is the pass-fail nature of goal setting, which kind of encourages someone to either succeed in achieving a goal or fail. It can be ineffective for some people because it can create unnecessary pressure and lead to a negative mindset. If someone feels they failed to achieve a goal, they might become discouraged. They might lose motivation. They might stop working toward that goal. And it can be really true, especially if the goals are unrealistic or overly ambitious, or they've experienced unexpected setbacks or challenges along the way toward that goal. Also, the pass-fail approach can be limiting because it doesn't really allow for the possibility of growth or learning. It fixates on the goal itself and the pass-fail nature of it as opposed to the journey toward that goal. And so because of all this, again, goals are fine, but for me, I've chosen to adopt an alternative approach to setting intentions for the new year. And for quite a while now, since at least 2015, as far as I can remember, I've implemented the 3 words exercise created by Chris Brogan. Chris Brogan is an author, an influencer. He's a professional speaker, a consultant, and I followed him for quite a while. And I love this exercise. And so rather than setting goals, the 3 words exercise involves defining 3 words that align with your intentions, your energy, and your focus for that year. So Chris explains it this way. He says, quote, "My 3 words idea is simple. Choose 3 words, not 1, not 4, that will help guide your choices and actions day to day. Think of them as lighthouses. Should I say yes to this project? Well, does this align with my 3 words?" End quote. So that's kind of how he describes it. There's a video. It's about, I think, 10 or 15 minutes where he explains the whole thing in more detail. So if you go to the blog post version of this podcast episode, there's a link to it there. You can find his video. Very useful to watch that if you've never heard of this before. So I found this process is much more effective for me than setting goals. It removes the pass-fail factor, and instead it treats personal development as a journey and promotes continuous improvement regardless of the specific outcomes or milestones. So it's been a really powerful way to set myself up for success in the coming year, and I've noticed it's really helped me make progress in my personal and professional life. So before I share my words for 2025, I'll reflect on my words for 2024. So last year, I chose clear, slow, and strong as my words. So with clear, I wanted to be more intentional about the direction of my life and my career. I felt good about how I cleared some distractions from my life. That's what I did there. And this year, or at least last year in 2024, I wanted to get even more clear about my life. So I have a tendency to take on too much and spread myself thin. And it's a theme that I've talked about before. And this past year, I'm pretty happy with how I did. I focused more on what's important, and I got even clearer about the direction I want to go. The next word, slow. I needed to slow down in a good way. I tend to think fast, I talk fast, I work fast, and this often makes me really productive, but it also comes at a cost. It can lead to stress, it can lead to anxiety, and so I needed to slow down and be more present. And that's a little bit of a foreshadowing to one of my words for this year. I did pretty well here overall, and I practiced talking slower and being more present in the moment, and that seems to have helped my communication quite a bit. The last word I chose last year was strong, and I did great here. I'm really happy with this. So as I write this, as I publish this episode, I'm currently on a 20-week streak of not missing a single workout. I feel stronger. I look stronger. I love the habit of lifting weights 3 days a week. So that's been really great for me. So really happy with how that turned out. So overall, I was really happy with how well I stayed in alignment with my 3 words in 2024. So 2024 wasn't perfect because life isn't perfect, but I feel like I did maintain integrity with my 3 words, and I'm very satisfied with that. So what about 2025? So for this coming year, I have chosen the following 3 words: elevate, present, and thrive. So with elevate, what does that mean? I'm on a mission to level up my skills in a lot of areas. I feel pretty solid in my ability to serve my clients in general, but I have a hunger for acquiring deep knowledge of the nuances of financial planning. I earned some tax and bookkeeping credentials last year, and there are a lot of ways to go deeper into those areas too. So my mission is to earn more knowledge, more credentials this year, and get even more intense about that. So I just have this hunger for knowledge and continuing to level up my skills and my ability to help my clients. So that's what Elevate is all about. Present. Next word is present. So I need to be more present in a lot of ways. I'm not. I'm a little ashamed to be vulnerable and call this out publicly. But recently, my son called me out for spending too much time on my phone, and he's right. I've not been as present with my family due to phone addiction, and I intend to break that bad habit this year. I want to be present with my family, in my work, in all areas of my life. So that's something that I've really noticed, and I'm really working on to be more present, and especially due to screen addiction as well, and kind of fight that. The last word is thrive. So I feel like life was fine last year. I'm generally happy, but I didn't feel like I was really living life to the fullest. So with that, I'm not a fan of toxic positivity or keeping up with other people's Instagram lives. I think that's all fake, but I do want to travel a little more and go on more adventures with my family. So my plan is to make that happen in 2025. Nothing crazy or outlandish, but make life a little more adventurous and a little more interesting. So that's where thrive comes from. So those are my 3 words for 2025: elevate, present, and thrive. I really love this exercise because it avoids the head trash that can result from the pass fail nature of goal setting. And don't get me wrong, there's a time and place for setting goals. But for me, setting 3 words is much more effective when defining a theme for the entire year. So I love this method of approaching the new year. I highly recommend learning more about it. And again, you can get the full explanation and the instructions from Chris Brogan's 3 words video, which is linked from the blog post version of this podcast episode. So go to the podcast episode on my website, episode 243. There'll be a link to the blog post version of this, in which there's a link to Chris Brogan's video if you want to find it. So if you decide to define 3 words of your own, I'd love to hear about it. Feel free to reach out, tell me the story behind your 3 words, and I'm here to support you any way I can. All right. So with that, I've already invited you to reach out and share your 3 words with me if you want to, but if you want to reach out for any other reason, I'm happy to chat. If you're a client, you know where to find me. If you're not a client and you want to maybe just have a quick consultation with me and learn more about either working with me or just have some questions in general for me, reach out on my website, which is elevationfinancial.com. Thanks everyone for joining me today. Have a great day. See you next time.